Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Ultralit. Today's video is a big one. After nearly 2 decades, 18 years to be exact, of living the DSLR life, I have finally crossed over to the mirrorless world. And this right here is the beginning of that new journey. The Sony A6700. It's compact, powerful and packed with potential. I've gone for the body only kit, no kit lens, because I like to build my setup around how I shoot, not the other way around. But this video isn't just about the unboxing. If you're new to Sony system just like me or stepping into mirrorless for the first time, I've got you covered. I'll walk you through some essential quick start settings so you can skip the manual, power it on and just start creating. So if you're thinking of picking up the A6700 or you already have, it's time to unbox it, set it up and get you ready to shoot like a pro. Let's jump right in. Alrighty, starting off, they have included this 64GB SD card with the A6700 body kit. I'd say it's a pretty sweet add-on, especially if you're just getting started. Then we've got the usual paperwork. You can register your product to get an additional 1-year warranty, which is honestly great to have. More support is always welcome. And then there's this is the warranty card. The A6700 manual, super handy if you're new to the camera, and a few more bits of paper that'll probably end up in a drawer, I guess. Some more paperwork. Yeah. Now diving in deeper, here's a nice little camera strap with the Sony Alpha logo. It actually looks and feels pretty solid. And then we got this tiny eyepiece. It's kind of cute, not gonna lie, like a little accessory for your camera's face. Next up, we have the Sony NP-FZ100 battery. This one's no joke, super reliable and used in a bunch of higher-end Sony Alpha bodies. Definitely one of the better batteries out there. And finally, here it is, the camera body itself, the A6700. Coming from a DSLR background, I'll be honest, it feels like a small toy in my hands, but hey, it's super cute, super compact, light, and I'm sure I'll get used to it real quick. Now, something I have to mention, there's no battery charger in the box, no USB-C charging cable either. At this price point, that just feels kind of cheap, not gonna lie. But anyways, moving on. Now, I want to help you get started on your photographic journey by showing you these very simple tips so that you don't have to waste your time reading through the manual. So without wasting time, let's get started. The most important thing here is to fully charge the camera battery with a USB-C cable as a standard practice before any assignment. Then, insert the battery in the battery compartment, which is here. Just flick it open. Then get the powerhouse Sony FZ100 battery and slide it in the battery compartment like so, and then flick the switch to lock the compartment. The second most important thing to do is open the SD compartment here, open it the same way, and then insert the SD card in the slot accordingly. Once you do, shut it like so and you're good to go. The A6700 comes with a fully articulated LCD screen, which is a great addition. And as a standard practice, I flip the LCD to protect it from scratches whenever I am not using the camera and whilst packing it for a shoot. The next step is to turn on the camera like so. You can see the battery percentage here. Then just hit the menu button. And the first thing that you do here is go to the setup menu. While in the setup menu, go to the area and date section and select the language as per your own preference. I have selected English here. You can select accordingly. After that, come down to the area, date, time section. In that, go to the area setting and select your time zone as per your region. And below that, you can also set your date, time and date format as per your liking. For the next important, and in a world of AI, the most essential setting a photographer needs to do is protect his rights as a photographer. For that, you need to go to your shooting menu. Within that, go to the file section and select copyright info. Then you go to the first section, write copyright info and select on. Then you go to the set photographer, enter your name and select OK. Then go back into the same copyright info and select set copyright, input your name and select OK like so. And then you can select display copyright info and see how your copyright info will be displayed in your image file's metadata. For the next important step, in the same shooting menu, go to the file folder settings. You can go to the set file name setting and input your custom file name just to differentiate your image file names from others. I have selected my initials. You can select so, or you can add some fun text. The next step is selecting the folder name tab and select according to your own preference. I select date from as it helps in segregating the image folders, and it also helps me recognize which date and year I had shot those images. Also helps in image organization right from the camera and helps in spending less time segregating images. For the next important setups, while we are still in the shooting menu, go to the image quality/recording tab. Select JPEG in the JPEG/HEIF switch. 99% of the time you're going to use JPEG files only, so that's a standard practice. Then for file format, me being a professional photographer, I shoot RAW, and that's why I select RAW and JPEG. I would also recommend you shoot in RAW as they are literally lifesavers. Then RAW file type, lossless compressed. JPEG quality extra fine for that little edge. JPEG image size large. Then moving forward, we'll go to the long exposure noise reduction, keep it on. High ISO noise reduction on. And then color space, select as sRGB. After that, come to the image stabilization. In image stabilization, turn the steady shot on. And then in shooting display, select the grid line display and turn it on. And the grid line type as rule of thirds, a super handy feature during image compositions. Here's a quick tip. In the main menu, you can see a bunch of easy access shortcuts to set a couple of the above mentioned features, like selecting the JPEG quality, the RAW file type like lossless, compressed and compressed, the file format, and a bunch of other useful features. Also, I would like to tell you about the two most important dials in the A6700 camera body, the rear dial and the front dial. Once you turn the camera on and select the manual mode, you can see here as I turn the rear dial, it controls the shutter speed. In the same way, the front dial controls the aperture, like so. I would also like to tell you how these dials work with the different modes of the camera. For example, if I select the shutter priority mode, I can set the shutter according to my shoot scenario from the rear as well as the front dial, like so, and the camera and lens will select the aperture accordingly. Same with the aperture priority mode. I can select my desired aperture with either the rear or the front dial, like so. For choosing the preferred ISO, you can select your shooting mode accordingly and then press the ISO button from the ISO wheel. Select the ISO as per your shoot requirement. And if you're unsure what ISO to use, just go to the auto ISO, select the optimal range, and my friends, you're good to go for a photo shoot. And that's it. Follow these steps and your A6700 will be perfectly set up, saving you time and letting you focus on what really matters: photography. Now that your camera is all set, let's see what magic you can get. Here are some shots I took with pride, with the A6700 right by my side, From golden hours to moody nights, watch how this beast captures the light. And there you have it, your A6700 setup. A peek into the results and a whole lot of inspiration to get out there and shoot. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're shooting next. This is Ultralit, and until next time, stay lit and follow Ultralit. Peace.